Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, today I'm going to talk again about BlueBird Bio. I think BlueBird Bio might be turning a corner because of the way they are approaching their operations, in my opinion, at least the communication operations, because this is the second time that I got an email from BlueBird with a press release. And in the past, I never used to get those. And also, I don't hold any BlueBird shares. So the fact that I'm getting those press releases is a very big positive for me. And I'm thinking that it helps BlueBird Bio communicate more effectively. And if you recollect, my constant complaint about these genomic companies has been that they do not communicate enough with the investors. So last time we had communication regarding Zynteglo, and this time the communication is about Lyfgenia. So buckle up, I'm going to unpack what they have said in the press release. And I've also seen that today pre-market BlueBird Bio is up almost 7.5%. Of course, all genomic companies are looking good, but BlueBird is looking extra strong in the pre-market action. So I think communication definitely provides more information to the investors and enables some interest in the share and improves the momentum, which in turn will improve the MACD and the share price. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Here is the press release, and I would like to highlight that it was released on December 8, 2024. And the reason why we are having a sequence of these communications coming across to us is because they have been presenting at the 66th American Society of Hematology annual meeting. And I hope they continue this communication going forward. But again, for this company to communicate anything, they need to have some new item that they can communicate. So at this point of time, things are looking good and it's impacting the share price in a positive manner. I'm going to talk about the key findings and patient impact first. So Lyfgenia demonstrated stable production of the anti-sickling hemoglobin and achieved a significant reduction or elimination of VOEs, that is vaso-occlusive events, in all evaluable patients. Among the 38 patients analyzed, nearly 95% had a complete resolution of severe VOEs and maintained a median of over 42 months. During that 42 months period, they had no severe VOEs. And in pediatric patients, the outcomes were even more remarkable. 100% achieved complete resolution of VOEs. And for patients with a history of stroke, a severe complication of sickle cell disease, none experienced a recurrent stroke for up to 9 years post-treatment. Friends, look at the 9 years term, right? This is a long-term observation. A lot of time, money, efforts have been invested in coming this far by BlueBird, and that is underpinning their IP. And these results are enhancing their intellectual property. And this is a groundbreaking result in my opinion, as stroke recurrence rates are typically high in this population, even with chronic transfusion, which was a regular standard of care. And now without chronic transfusion, they are avoiding all the blood-borne disease infection risks like HIV, hepatitis, and those kind of things. And they do not have the inconvenience of having to be rushed to an ambulance, by an ambulance to a hospital for transfusions and interventions. So overall, it's pretty good. The second aspect I want to talk about is the broader significance of this. This therapy isn't just effective, it's also durable. The longest follow-up data span over 9 years, making Lyfgenia the most extensively studied gene therapy for sickle cell disease. These results show promise not only for improving patients' quality of life, but also for reducing the long-term healthcare costs associated with frequent hospitalization and ongoing treatments like blood transfusions. And as people start adopting these kind of therapies, the volume of these treatments will go up. The barrier which is there, the fear of going in for these kind of treatments will reduce. And also people will see living proof that going through this process of myeloablations and all, which is very painful, is going to be worth it, because for the rest of your life, you're going to be in a good shape and you're going to be able to pursue your career, your family lives and your aspirations all those things are going to look much better, and therefore more patients will take up. And as the volume goes up, the cost of these therapies could come down, and therefore it'll be a positive virtuous cycle of improving returns and improving outcomes. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Next, I would like to talk about the science behind Lyfgenia. Lyfgenia uses lentiviral vector technology to introduce a functional copy of the gene responsible for producing anti-sickling hemoglobin. After infusion, patients will see that hemoglobin levels stabilize without needing transfusion support, which is a significant milestone in treating sickle cell disease. Now, I would like to talk about addressing safety concerns, because safety is always a top concern for patients as well as policymakers and healthcare providers. The data revealed no graft failure, which is the graft versus host disease, or vector-related complications. However, it's worth noting that earlier versions of the therapy were associated with 2 cases of leukemia in a previous cohort. Importantly, the current manufacturing and treatment protocols have been enhanced to address the leukemia risk. This is a big revelation in this news article, which should also lead to a positive sentiment, with the hopes that we may have a much better description of this therapy by the FDA going forward. Next, I want to talk about the implication for all of us as investors. For us investors, this announcement underscores BlueBird Bio's leadership in gene therapy innovation. They have the largest patient base so far and longest follow-up data in the field, positioning Lyfgenia as a front-runner in sickle cell disease treatment. And additionally, the company is addressing an unmet medical need in a large market with over 100,000 patients in the US alone and many more worldwide. Now, this is where I would like to point out that BlueBird Bio is focusing purely on the United States. One of the positives for that is that the United States has got the purchasing power to afford this kind of treatment. But on the other hand, CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex partnership is moving globally, and they are looking at the Middle East, they are looking at Europe and other places which also have a lot of purchasing power. So the chances of the other companies capturing a wider market is higher. But this press release slightly improves BlueBird Bio's perception in the eyes of the investor because they have got much better data release at this point of time, which improves the perception that we had of BlueBird from before. So that's a net positive, and I'm seeing positive things in the pre-market today. Hopefully that translates into an ongoing improvement for the share. But before investors jump into it, I want to bring to attention a very important event that's going to happen. I think it's going to happen on the 13th of December. That is the reverse stock split. So 20 stocks would be converted into 1 stock. So you multiply 20 stocks and that will be the value of 1 stock, whatever is the price in the market that day. And the person who has, say, 100 stocks will now have 20 stocks, and the total value of the stocks in their portfolio will remain the same. So each stock will look more expensive, but remember, each of those stocks is a collection of 20 of the older stocks. So this is what happens with the reverse stock split. So I would like you to be very careful when you place purchase orders. Look at the date on which the split is going to take effect and make sure that you're paying for the shares that you're buying. Please do not end up having a problem at that end. That's what I would caution you about. And I think the big takeaway here is that Lyfgenia has the potential to change the standard of care for sickle cell disease. For investors, this means an opportunity to back a technology with robust clinical evidence and a meaningful impact on patient lives. And I would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this development? Stay tuned for more updates on BlueBird Bio going forward, assuming that they'll continue to send communications across. With that, my friends, I'd like to bring this video to an end, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.